What's up, my gamers? Welcome back to Vic and Hope. We're playing Nioh in the big O. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that fucking bell like it's death grips in this bitch. Fucking ring a bell. That's it. That's our radio bit now. We just go, what's up, gamers?
That's it. That's the whole bit.
If you've been watching lots of Smash Bros. Analysis videos and move tutorials, you'll notice that every single person on the entire planet starts their video by going, what's up, gamers? What's up, guys? Not gamers, but guys.
Yeah, because gamers would be derogatory.
Like, yeah, try-hard tool. Do I have my weapons
Gamers
yet?
is basically the N-word for the internet.
Yes. What's up, gamers?
Can't say that.
Yes, I can't
offensive.
say that. It is the N-word. Man, that brings up a fun topic, 'cause we've watched a lot of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's one of those where just, I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
Would it be able to... Because it's like, you want to be like, wow, they wouldn't be able to get away with saying that these days. But it's like, but you've never been able to get away with saying the N-word in a TV show. They just did it, you know?
They just didn't care.
They just didn't care. And no one said anything because, like, there's never articles written about the stuff that actually, like, is edgy. Like, is actually edgy on purpose, you know?
Right.
Like, there's never anything about it.
Well, you might want to explain the context of why this came up in Curb Your Enthusiasm also. So that
I'm not sure. I mean, they said the N-word several times in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, well, the purpose was because he overheard this conversation between this, like, hospital employee and somebody else, and the guy was bitching because he, I guess he was helping his friend move, and the guy who was holding the other end of this couch dropped it, and the guy hurt his foot. But he described the man holding the other end of the couch as a 300-pound, you know. I don't want to say it because I'm not comfortable. Yes. I don't care, but I personally...
We're not comfortable saying it on the show. You can believe that in my personal life, I'm not afraid, in the comfort of my own fucking home, to say a meme word in the context of it not being offensive.
Being a meme.
But on our show, you know, us people who have to live regular lives and have regular jobs gotta look out for sound bites for some reason. Because you can't trust anyone in the fucking world. You can't even trust your own fans on your own goddamn thing.
Right.
Because,
just in case.
Because just today, someone has tweeted that fucking image where I say, what's up, my ding dong, or whatever the fuck, on Twitter, that I didn't even say. And I know the guy must be memeing because he seems like he's a PCP fan, but it's like, I will never escape this shit from an image that I did not even consent to, where Connor had put me saying, what's up, my ding dong, which is already, like, a weird, obscure version of that word.
It's such a bastardization of the word that it's like, does it even mean anything? It's so good.
It's like when in that stupid Fine Brothers Seinfeld dissing bullshit where, like, at some point I think someone in the episode said Negro.
Yes.
And, like, the kid was like, whoa, you can't say that anymore. It's like, okay, it's like, saying
he didn't say
Negro is not the N-word. That's not the word.
Right. Like, it might not be the most politically correct thing to say, but it's not the N-word.
Yeah, you'd have to adjust a lot of, like, official organizations, like, if you wanted to remove the word Negro. Like, that's the classic story of me when I was in middle school, giving that report in the all-black school, where I had to give up and talk about this guy whose, like, entire organization and entire, like, everything related to this guy had the word Negro in it. Like, his organization had the word Negro in it, and I thought that was, like, I didn't know that wasn't the N-word at that time. And so I had to get up in front of class and fucking tremble reading this fucking report on this guy who is all about the fucking Back to Africa movement and empowering the Negro. And I have to sit there and, like, be like, Because that's not the N-word, guys. It's not the N-word. There's kind of a big difference,
Right.
in the context of the two words. One is just the Spanish word for black,
Right.
which is, the origin of the N-word.
The N-word.
If you want to get into how the semantics came about, maybe you're foreign and you don't understand the origins of the N-word, but it comes from the fact that white man was buying the slaves from the Spanish, who would have referred to them as Negro because they are black. We call them black. The Spanish would have said Negro
Because that's black,
because that is black
in their
Spanish.
language.
And so, through the slaves being traded that way with Spaniards, I assume that's where white people in America caught on to the word and started saying it with their dumb fuck country accents, and that's how you get the current word, It's a dumb fuck country accent version of the word Negro, which is just the word black in Spanish. It would make Spanish class really fucking awkward if you couldn't say Negro, huh? Or maybe it's Negro. What's the proper way to say it? But it's the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's Negro,
well,
but
if it's Negro,
but
that
Negro
makes it even easier to
country,
bastardize with, an American accent.
That's, Negro is a bastardization of Negro, which becomes the N-word.
Right.
It's all, but you see the origin,
Yeah, no.
It's just a horrible accented way to say Negro. It's just an accent.
But it's just funny because then you get people like my mom who are afraid to hear the N-word at all in literally anything.
Even though she is kind of racist.
Even though she's... Whatever. Anyway. Because, she can't listen to Kendrick Lamar because he says the N-word.
Yes.
She's admitted, she's like, I like the music, but I can't listen to it because he says the N-word. I'm like, well, if he can't say it, who can?
Yeah. He also isn't supposed to say it. The black community isn't proud of rappers saying the N-word, That's also not fine. That's one of the funny things that white people will misconstrue, which is that it's fine for black people to say the N-word, which it isn't.
Nobody can say it.
It's also not okay for black people to say the N-word if you're going through the context of, the mature thought leaders in, the church and stuff, church people will always frown upon the use of the N-word,
religious people.
It's still no one's gonna say it around their mom.
I
reference this because I do lots of weddings. I hang out with black people in general.
You hang out with the Negroes.
When young black guys are near their parents, they will not say the N-word. It's still something where in most social contexts it's not okay, especially to the older generations. It's still not socially acceptable for them to say it. So why the fuck would we say it?
Right.
But people don't understand that. Fucking Sargon of Akkad, is currently in that fucking bullshit because he said the N-word, on his stupid some idiot's podcast or whatever the fuck.
Great. Good job,
he's
buddy.
a fucking retard. Everyone's a fucking idiot asshole because they're all too fucking stubborn and believe they should have the right to say something that they should never need to say,
Right. Why do you need it?
Uh,
You don't. Just stop, please. Because then you have
you can make arguments for it and defenses for it all fucking day, but you're never winning anything,
Right.
At the end of the day, no one's gonna be like, wow, you sure did argue your way into changing society's
now
view
we can
of
all
saying
say
the N-word.
N-word.
We're all gonna. It's fine. You can say it now. Wow, you made a great argument. Congratulations. Everyone in society accepts that you can say the N-word now. Way to fucking go, buddy. What's the fucking point?
Who
It's
fucking
just
knows?
pride. I'm sure Conrad will have enough to fucking say about that after this shit. He'll listen to this and be like, oh, I want to say the N-word. I'm gonna make my counter argument for why it's okay and why society can't progress if we don't fucking make it so people can say the N-word.
I feel like in an ideal world we would get to a place where it just doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. But that's not gonna happen.
But that's
not
part
realistic.
of the problem. Because the misconception is that the black community would want it to mean nothing, when that's not what they
don't.
want.
I get that.
Yeah.
I do understand that.
So it's
that's
to
why I
them,
said in an ideal world we would be at a place where everyone agrees that the word has no power and it doesn't mean anything. But that's not how reality is going to work.
It's easy for us to say as white people who aren't affected by it.
Well, yes, I'm also not a black person.
Where it's
but again, that's why I gave a disclaimer.
From their perspective, they don't want the word to lose power because that's the point of the word,
I love the way he bends over and, like, talks to the little sprite guys
Yeah.
when he saves them. It's really cute.
Because the point is that, like, if the word loses power, then it loses its historical context, and then people won't remember why it's a bad word, you know?
Right.
Like, you're essentially forgetting history if you lose the word and its power, and that's what they don't want. So it's like,
Right.
that makes sense, you know? It makes sense for the black community. And,
But,
like, yes, it's a valid argument that the word will lose power if people stop making a big deal about it, but they don't want it to lose power, because that's the point.
Simultaneously, if you stick to your guns with that and you make it a big deal, it's going to be a meme forever.
Yes,
people
it
are
is
going to
gonna be a
meme
meme
on
forever.
it for the rest of eternity.
It's never gonna die. They just want people to stop saying it, you know, but for it to keep its power,
Right.
which isn't gonna happen.
Right. That's not realistic either. Neither of those sides are realistic.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just not happening.
Yep. And I can only imagine how bizarre it is for the rest of people in the world who, like, didn't grow up with this issue or don't have a large, like, black community in their country and stuff. Like, all these issues that seem like American issues get really weird when you realize, like, half the people on YouTube are living in Europe and shit.
Right.
And, like, you've got Indian people weighing in. And it's like, what do these people even know about the context of this, you know? What is a fucking Arabic dude who's listening to rap music and has only ever heard the N-word in the context of rap music? What's
what does
going
he
through
even
his
know?
mind when he sees the debate on this? Like, he has no idea what the fucking context of all this is. I don't know how much they're learning about American history or Brazilian
I mean,
history.
if it's
or
anything like what we learn about their history,
Yeah.
then it's jack all.
it becomes quite interesting to me, where it's like, I don't know what everyone else's context for it is, and like it makes sense that they wouldn't understand like why
would they?
it's so weird. I don't know.
They don't really have any, like, a perspective
Yeah.
to frame that, so...
Exactly, which is
You know?
how, like, worldwide fucking racism can happen, because, like, if there's no fucking... If you grow up in Scandinavia and you've never met a black person before, then, like, if you're probably going to be more susceptible to believing stereotypes about them, because you've never met a different kind of person than a white person, you know?
Right.
It's where internet stereotypes can get weird. I'm not explaining this very well, but I'm making a good point, right?
I mean...
I didn't plan on going on this tangent, so I'm just kind of like...
I understand what you're saying.
These are things I
can't
think about a
promise
lot.
that it won't be taken, you know, the wrong way.
I don't know how it would be taken the wrong way. I'm not being a racist, am
Oh.
I? I'm just saying that I
don't
think
know.
it's interesting that people in different cultures probably haven't, like, had as much interaction with other people of different kinds of cultures as much as me and you have every day, you know?
Right.
And so, like, they might not understand the cultural context of certain things that, like, are taboo in America, you know?
Right.
And so it's like, when you look at the internet, it's like, who are you talking to, you know? Like, you can get in an argument with someone about something like that, but they might be a British dude who has no fucking idea how severe, like, the cultural context of that is in America, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what the cultural history of that word is in England, you know? I don't know if the black community there takes as hard of offense to it as the black community here does.
Right.
I don't know. And I hope in this argument it's becoming clear that I don't think people should be saying the N-word, right? That I don't think it's okay.
Are you sure?
I'm trying to make that point. I'm trying to make the argument for that side. That's my ultimate goal here, is that I don't think people should be saying it, because I think they should get the fuck over it, you know? But I'm also, you know, just giving the perspective that not everyone in the world is American, and we tend to think about everyone from that lens of, like...
Right. Yeah.
Whoever I'm arguing with is clearly from the United States, when most of the time, like, there's some fucking European person who doesn't understand. I think the same thing with people who, like... Yeah, there's people like Conrad and now Quentin Reviews who are constantly criticized for their ego and, like, the way they present themselves online and stuff, and I wonder how much of that is coming from, like, foreigners who aren't used to the American sort of portrayal of ego, you know?
I don't know.
Where it's like we're kind of used to these egotistical, like,
Right,
characters
like
coming through.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the American spirit, you know?
It's like I could see where someone from a culture where you aren't as boisterous about everything you say, and you used to people voicing their opinions so strongly, you know? Like, maybe you would think that someone like that is an asshole if you saw them on the internet fucking going off about whatever the hell. It's just interesting, you know? Everyone's on the internet. Everyone from every culture is there. What am I doing?
What are you doing?
I'm playing Nioh. I'm doing good. I'm making progress.
Yeah.
Going on a nice little tirade.
I think
you should probably stop me before I say anything too fucking retarded.
Before you say the N-word?
Before I say the N-word.
Okay. Well, on the topic of what we were already talking about previously, the new year, I've noticed a trend over the last couple of years, maybe starting 2015 or 2016, that I think is really interesting. And that is, whenever the year ends, everyone on social media, it just starts going on and on about how insert year here was the worst year ever.
Yes.
Oh, 2016 was the worst year ever. 2017 was the worst year ever. 2018 was the worst year ever. And it's like, they can't all be the worst year ever, dude.
Yeah.
How is each year, like, just as bad or worse than the year before it for you? Why is there so much negativity?
And we perceive culture as getting worse and worse because we're getting progressively older and more jaded. While every fucking little kid is probably like, this is the best year ever! All these things came out that I love because I've only ever consumed 5 things.
But, I mean, that's the other thing I don't understand, because 2016, which is a year I think probably a lot of people would say was an absolutely horrible year, was a great year for me. Like, I remember that year being super great, because I, like, moved out of my parents' house, and we started dating, and we had, like, a really good Christmas.
I think we started dating the year before.
That's 3 years ago.
It's been 3 years. You
Two
said
and a half.
2017.
2.5.
What?
2.5.
What?
2.5.
2.5 what?
2.5 years.
Of us?
Yeah.
It's been 3 years.
3
What are you talking?
years?
We just had a 3-year anniversary. 9/11. That was 3 years.
That was 2.
No, it's been 3. Are you gonna make me break it down? You're gonna make me break it down,
You've lived here a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then before that, I lived here 1 year.
Yeah.
That's 2.5 years.
And we were dating before you moved here.
No.
Yes.
No.
Remember all those days I came to your parents' house and laid with you in bed? You know? Remember all... You're so bad with referencing amounts of time. We got together the summer after I graduated college. Which was over 3 years ago now.
Anyway, that's not the point.
Yes, it is.
Every year is the worst year ever. I feel like it's unnecessary. Every year is not the worst year ever.
Yes.
Just because a bunch of bad shit happened in, like, politics or the world. It's like, bad shit happens every year, dude.
And it's like...
That's nothing new.
Like,
bad
wow,
shit's been happening since the dawn of time.
Uh-huh. It's like, have you really not hit rock bottom yet? That there are years that could be worse than previous years? Like,
right.
I feel like I hit rock bottom a while ago, and it's all been uphill, you know?
Maybe those people just haven't hit rock bottom
You gotta
yet.
hit your fucking rock bottom, and then it's
know.
all, you gotta, everything's positive after that.
I can't tell. Maybe their lives have just been too good up until this point,
Yeah.
and now everything's sinking.
It's like...
The ship is sinking.
I'm with you, therefore there could not be a year now that would be worse than a year before, you know? Like, the year before me and you got together, I could probably say, you know, I don't know this necessarily, but I'll just offhandedly say it's probably the worst year, you know? Probably the worst year. Maybe the year before that, because there was a build. Maybe the year where I had to fucking discontinue Derek and all that, whatever that year was. That was probably the worst year ever, and then it's all uphill from there, you know?
Right.
Get with you. How could every year not be better than the last? Because I'm always progressing, you know? I'm starting from the bottom and working up, so there could never be backwards progress.
Exactly.
That's what you gotta do, guys. You gotta start at the bottom and work up, and you'll never be disappointed.
You just have to be at your lowest point, and then you'll never be disappointed from that point on.
Exactly. You have to start at the absolute lowest. Let me use my bow. How do I use my bow? There we go. Boof!
Fucking got him,
Shot
dude.
his fucking head off.
I just find it really annoying that every year everyone's like, this was the worst year ever. And it's like, no, really wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what's making you guys say this.
I don't know if they just mean it in terms of, like, media or
I think
culture,
they probably mean it in
like,
terms of, like, politics.
like, oh,
and
Donald
world,
Trump.
You know, world news and shit, but
Yeah,
like,
I don't feel like it's been
who
that bad,
fucking-
even in that regard. I don't give a shit.
like-
It's always sucked. Like, it's
well-
never been good, you know?
you know, we didn't get 9/11, so it could be
Yeah.
worse.
It's never been like, man, this was such a fucking great year for America. Everyone's happy. Like, this never happened.
Yeah, no one was ever like, gee, America did so good this year.
Yeah.
Everything was perfect.
Ooh.
Because even when Donald Trump wasn't president, there were people who were pissed off because Obama was president.
Exactly.
So
Like, it's never
still
been
someone's
good.
worst year ever.
Yeah. It's always someone's worst year ever
It's
somewhere.
always someone's worst year ever, regardless of what actually happened.
Do 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 do.
I just think it's stupid.
Anywho, yeah. I'm getting too riled up.
Getting-
I'm like, what am I even riled up about right
Yeah,
now?
that's
I
what
just,
I was
I got
wondering.
on a rant, and then that's what I do. You know, I get riled up, and then I don't. The only way I can keep going is to keep stuttering over my rants because my head is empty as I try to play these games and be entertaining for you people.
You people!
Yes, black people.
I'm going to say the N-word.
Yes, good meme.
We just finished a Netflix original anime here recently, correct, Victor?
Bandersnatch.
Yes,
Yeah.
Bandersnatch.
That was not great. It's like it wasn't
but
bad
it's better
for
than
what
Bird
it was,
Box, which
but
means it's great.
yeah, but culturally it's already way the fuck overrated.
Oh yeah,
Because critics will shit all over it, you know, which is good.
yeah,
It should be shot all over because it's not great.
correct.
It was fun at best, but
Right.
ultimately not good. It needs to be destroyed. But normies eat that shit up. Normies fucking
What
love
does free
this
will
Netflix
mean to
shit
you?
because they've never had a complex thought in their fucking life.
It's truly amazing because when I saw the hype building around Bandersnatch, everyone was like, "Oh, it's gonna fucking blow your mind. It's gonna make you question everything. It's gonna
Yes.
make you wonder about free will. It's so fucking crazy." And then you watch it and you're like, "Yeah, I probably have already gone through all these things when I was like 14,
Yeah.
having
It's
an
like,
existential moment."
did you guys
Cool.
never watch like anything when you were a kid? Like you didn't
Did
watch
you just-
TV and get interesting ideas given to you? Like this is the first time you've ever thought about like
About,
anything?
like,
Like it's just not that like
just
it's not
the-
that deep.
The philosophical nature of being a human. This
Yeah.
is the first time you've considered even the most shallow level of that. The first time.
Yeah.
It's like baby's first fucking philosophical thought.
And it doesn't really go out of its way to suggest that you, the viewer, do not have free will. You know, it's more
Right.
like you're controlling some sort of Truman Show scenario
I mean,
where
I guess
the character doesn't have free will. But yeah, it can make you think like, oh, what if that's what my life is? You know, someone
or
controlling
you could
me.
also say the ending where he takes away the player's choice in his game
Yeah.
is something akin to that. But like,
But
okay,
in
what are the
such a
stakes for me there?
fucking
Nothing. All right,
way
cool.
worse, like whatever.
He made a video game where I have the illusion of choice. Cool.
It's like yeah, anyone
It's
who's
just
played
like
a fucking
every
video
David Cage game
yeah.
ever.
Anyone who's played any game
Did
with
you
choice
play
knows.
Heavy Rain? Well, then you've seen Bandersnatch.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Boom, got him. Rah.
That being said, I mean, it's a good meme.
Yeah,
if
it's
you
a
want
fun
to sit
movie.
around and shit with your friends and choose your stupid ending.
It's got some fun, goofy, stupid endings.
It does have
We
some
went through and
pretty
we
goofy
watched
endings.
every ending of the movie.
And I mean,
do
it was a good
Do you want to
time.
describe what that movie's about? You want to give a summary of everything? I can't get my thoughts together enough
I
to
mean,
actually
it's
describe
going to
the plot.
be really hard to summarize a choose-your-own-adventure movie, but the
Yeah.
basic premise is there's this 19-year-old kid. He lives in somewhere in, like, Britain. I don't know anything
Yeah.
about Britain.
London
really,
or some shit.
some
you know,
shit like
fucking
that.
somewhere in
1984 is when it's taking place, so, like, video games are still relatively young. And his mom died when he was a kid. He lives with just his dad, and he's developing this game based off a book he found in his mom's library. That's a choose-your-own-adventure book called Bandersnatch. And so up until this point, he had been working on the game by himself, but he takes it into like a production company, shows him what he has, and they're like, oh yeah, we're definitely interested. So they allow him to start making this game, but he gets to work on it by himself at home. And through the course of him working on this game by himself, he's uncovering all these conspiracies about the author of the Choose Your Own Adventure novel, and then the same shit starts happening to him, and he starts losing his grip on reality
because
as well.
like once you've become self-aware of the fact that you don't have any control over your life, then all of a sudden, you know, he starts realizing that he's not the one making his decisions.
Right.
And that someone else is making them for him, which causes him to lose his mind.
He has to murder his dad with an ashtray.
And it's pretty fucking corny. Like, it's consistently corny the entire time.
It's very corny.
But it's, at least sometimes it's fun, where, like, there's an ending where he just, like, gets in a kung fu battle with his therapist, and it's like, alright, well, at least they went,
and then
like...
he kicks his dad in the balls.
They didn't just bitch out and do, like, whatever... and just have, like, one ending where it's like, oh, you had no choice all along, and there's only one ending. They at least went with, like, alright, well, there's a bunch of different endings, and, like, and some of them are goofy and hilarious.
Yeah,
so
some of them are goofy, some of them are serious.
That aspect was satisfying.
It's a little disappointing that it seems like there's only one code that works with the phone input when you're trying to call your therapist. I think really only one code works.
Yeah.
And that's the one that we did.
I just don't know what you need to get that code.
It tells you the code.
Yeah, but like, what if it told other people the wrong code, is what I wonder.
I don't
Probably
know.
not. I don't know.
I don't
it
think
doesn't matter.
so.
It's stupid. It's a stupid movie.
I mean, again, the illusion of having choices.
So I need to spend my samurai skill points. There we go. I have 13 samurai skill points. This is where the game, because I was telling Hope, I'm like, we can play this game, but I might have to spend hours in menus. Maybe I'll do these things between episodes. Like, I'll go in and I'll do all my skill tree shit. Because there's a lot, and I'm going to have to read all these, like, scrolls.
Right. Yeah, and it could get...
But you kind of need to do that to, like, progress the mechanics of the game to a point where you can play, like, to the best of your ability.
Right.
Ugh.
But Bandersnatch aside, I was talking about the real Netflix original anime.
Yes. Which is High Score Girl.
Yes.
A Netflix original anime.
Netflix original anime created by Netflix.
By the way, guys, this is a Netflix original anime. Make sure you see that.
Make sure you know that Netflix produced this because Netflix.
Yes.
Netflix made this.
By Netflix.
Netflix.
We're aware. Anyways, yes. This is very good. This is a very good show.
We watched High Score Girl, and it was surprisingly great.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how much I liked it.
Yeah.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, it'll probably be, like, you know, a little bit, give me a chuckle, you know? And I like watching, you know, game history shit, you know? I was way into Angry Video Game Nerd and all that shit as a kid, even though I never played the games. I loved learning about them
it's
and,
fun
like,
to learn about
seeing the context. I was like, sure. You know, it'll be a good time. I don't think I'll, you know, really get emotionally invested or anything, but, actually really great. All the characters are great.
Yeah, it's just a fun, like, classic kind of love triangle romance story.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything you haven't seen before, but it's done well.
Exactly.
And it has an interesting enough
But those stories are
angle.
good, and so you'll enjoy it forever, you know? If you haven't watched a romance in a while, then you'll be like... Nice, cool. Romance shows are good.
It feels refreshing to see a romance show that isn't some frustrating shoujo where nothing happens.
Or Darling in the Franxx, where it's
not
the
a
worst fucking
show.
bullshit imaginable.
Fuck that. That's just
so I'm like, oh yeah,
dumb.
I actually really like romance animes, and they used to really get to me. Yeah. And I don't like want to watch them all the time.
Right. And
then
like,
some
of them are too
samey,
sad.
You know? Yeah.
Some of them are definitely too sad. Like, Natsuki Rendezvous is great, but it's too fucking sad.
Yes.
I can't just sit down and watch it, because I don't want to cry. But I did cry during High Score Girl.
Yeah. It was good.
Both girls are great. Ono is great in her own way, even though she is completely silent and does not say anything the entire show.
Frustratingly silent.
Very little facial expression, but
she's adorable.
Somehow Haruo is able to read her perfectly. But that's what gives the characters a
it's just
chemistry.
subtle
very,
expression.
very subtle facial expression.
Yeah.
It's maybe not...
Her faces say 1,000 words,
it's
you know?
hindered a little bit, I think, by the CG, but...
Not that much, though.
Not much.
Far
but
better
when it's
than
that
most
subtle,
CG shows.
It can be challenging.
Because it's not about animation. Like, it's so subtly animated and, like, slow pace,
Yeah.
and it's just like the animation doesn't matter. If
But
you're watching it for animation, what are you doing? You know?
Overall, definitely, the CG is not a problem.
Yeah,
It
not a
doesn't
problem.
hold back the story by any means.
Pretty good.
And, other girl, Hidaka. Hidaka is great, too. When she first showed up, I was like, I don't know about this.
Yeah,
but,
it takes a little while to get
she's
used
great.
to her, but she has good payoff, you know?
Yeah. That being said, there's only 12 episodes, and there's a very much cliffhanger ending, so don't expect, like,
literal
actual...
fucking abrupt stop cliffhanger, but there's supposed to be a 3-episode OVA
but, like,
that's gonna come out. And
are those gonna be side stories or actual conclusions to
they better be a
what
conclusion.
was...
Like, you can't end it like that and then not do some kind of, like, anime original
I
ending
wouldn't
or something.
fucking be
like,
surprised.
I
Anime's
prefer
done it
anime
before.
original endings to just ending.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the better option, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did just fuck us and say, Shaco, read the manga. Which we can't read because it's not available officially in English. I mean, you could get it from other sources, but it's not officially available in English. So no one here told you to go illegally read manga.
Does anyone read manga officially in English? I feel like the people who read manga don't do it by legal means.
Shonen Jump just started simul-translating for free in English. So I would imagine people have been probably reading more legit
about fucking time
sources.
It's like they're gonna go read it for free anyways. You might
as well get their views and get the AdSense, right?
Yeah. Fucking manga, man.
Fucking manga.
There's just too much of it, you know?
There's
it's like if you're a manga fan,
like
how do you decide what you're gonna buy beyond like special omnibus like
right. It has to be
super special edition
and that's
things.
the thing. If you're only 1 or 2 volumes into it, and you know it's like gonna be a fucking long haul, what happens if it becomes shit later? And then you're just stuck with 20 volumes of some shit manga.
Exactly. It's definitely you gotta try before you buy kind of medium.
Absolutely. You can't just go buy manga, man. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah. You can't go into Barnes & Noble and pick up volume 1 and be like, I'm just gonna try out fucking my emperor's wife is stuck in a dungeon fucking Guru Gaiden. My fucking mom is hot and she's in a dungeon fucking in the other world paradox. I want to fuck my mom fucking Ninja Gaiden fucking Genboro Jutsu, bro. Fucking what would happen if I fucked my mom in a dungeon?
What would happen if I fucked?
What would happen if I fucked my mom in a parallel world Rhapsody?
Yeah, there's too much fucking manga. You can't tell what's good until you've actually read a decent amount of the story.
Yes.
So fuck you if you think I'm gonna go buy the first volume of your fucking manga in Barnes & Noble when I haven't read it. Get out of here.
So with this game, like there's these red gravestone sword things everywhere, and that's where like you can fight another sort of player's avatar kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's confusing on like how that mechanic works. I don't know how you get it. I think it's like they died there. And then you fight
I would
them
think
or
they
something.
died there and then you fight their like ghost.
But then it's like, so I love this game so fucking much that at a certain point, any level I played, I just go through and I fight every single one of them because I want to play the levels longer. Because I love playing this game so much that I'll go in and fight every single enemy and every single redstone thing. Some of them there's too many. You can't do it because there'll be like 50 of them or something.
Dear
and
God.
It's just like you can't fucking fight them all. It's agonizing. But I love this fucking game so much that I just would draw out the levels so that I wouldn't beat them too fast.
Maybe that's how you got 68 hours.
Likely.
Yeah, Oni. Cool.
And because it's kind of a way to grind without like doing the levels over and over again, because I think you do get experience or something from killing them. I'm using my supers to fuck these guys up because I'm super weak right now in the game.
Spooky.
There's some fucking cool ass demons in this game.
There
Get
are
a little
some
deeper.
pretty cool guys.
Some fucking bosses. There's one boss that's like the boss in the water temple from Ocarina of Time. It's fucking cool as shit. It's just this water monster. Like you're just literally fighting a creature made of water.
Whoa.
And it just like goops around and it's super fucking hard and annoying. But also amazing.
Like chaos.
Yes, it's like chaos. Except it's like, oh my god!
He
Fuck!
Gotcha, dude.
They really got me. What's their time at?
He fucking dunked. 35 minutes.
35 minutes? Alright, that's it for this episode. I think we're... I don't know. Oh, I had more to say about High Score Girl, but we'll start with that next time. More on High Score Girl later. That's it for this episode of Vic and Hope.
Whoa.
Bye.